back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you're doing fine. In today's video, we'll be learning how to draft our basic sleeve. All right, so the first thing we're going to be doing is taking our measurements from your sleeve opening. Okay, you take your measurement from your sleeve open to your wrist. So this is where your wrist is. Okay, so mine is 21 inches. I'm going to be working with a long sleeve. So if you want to make a short sleeve or a 3/4 sleeve, you can go ahead. Your short sleeve might be 7, 8, 9 inches, all right? And the 3/4 sleeve might be length 16 or 17. But I'll be working with a long sleeve, all right? That is from my shoulder hem to my wrist. So I have my 21 inches here. So the next thing we're going to be taking is our calf's height, okay? The height of our sleeve. Okay, so to measure your calf's height, I have a measurement here. This is very easy to apply. In order to get our calf's height, we are going to be dividing our bust by 12. So whatever your bust is, if your bust is bust 40, 42, but mine is 35.5. So whatever your bust is, your bust circumference, you divide it by 12. So I have 2.95 for mine. Then you're going to be adding half inch to that. Okay, whatever your bust is, you divide by 12, then you add half inch. So I have 2.95 when I added half inch, so I have 3.4. So you're going to be taking my calf's height, okay, on this part, 3.4. So this is my calf's height. Then I'm going to be ruling that out. Okay, so after getting that, the next thing I'm going to be doing now is making reference to my basic bodice pattern. So I have a video on this. Okay, we're going to be making reference to this. We're going to be using this to determine our calf's width. Okay, after determining your calf's height, you're going to be determining your width. So for this video, I have a video on it, so you can check it out to understand, because you're going to be making reference to this. So I'm going to be taking what I have from my shoulder here to my chest line. All right, so I'm going to be starting my measurement from this line. This is my shoulder allowance, so I won't take my measurement from there. So I'll take it all the way to my chest line. So I have 6.5. So whatever you have, you input it there. Then I added half quarter inch allowance. So this is this. I have 6.5. Then I added quarter inch allowance for inch. So I'm going to be replicating that, then putting that on my calf's height. All right, whatever you have, you input it on your calf's height. So I'm going to be taking my 6.5 first. So I have that already. Then my ease, I added quarter inch for ease. So you had your ease. Then I'm going to be adding another ease. Okay, so all together I should have 7.5, 7/4. Okay, so whatever you have there, after taking your measurement, you connect it to this starting point here. All right, take your ruler, then you connect from your point here to your starting line. All right, so after doing that, the next thing you're going to be doing, you take the midpoint, whatever you have. I have 8 inches here, so I'm going to be dividing them by 2. So that is your midpoint. So mine is 4 inches, so whatever yours is, you divide it by 2. All right, then from that midpoint, you're going to be going up by half inch. So from my midpoint, I'm going to be going up by half an inch. You're going to be connecting that. Then you take your ruler or your armhole curve. So whatever armhole curve you have, you're going to be making use of that. If you don't have a pattern master, so whatever armhole curve you have, just be creative with it and bring out your armhole so you can make use of this. If I'm to use this, I'm going to be connecting from that 1/2 inch here all the way to the tip of here. Okay, then if you don't have this, if you have your pattern master or any type of armhole curve, so you're going to be curving it from your 1/2 inch here, curving from this 1/2 inch all the way to the top. So I'm going to be using the pattern master to do that. All right, let me make use of this so you'll be able to see that very well. All right, then from this point you use your straight ruler to connect to the last part here. All right, so what we just did now is our back armhole, and why our back armhole is like this is because we just took our measurement direct. We didn't go in by 1/2 inch, unlike the front that we go in by 1/2 inch. On the back remains the same. Now we're going to be constructing the front armhole. Now doing for the front, you're going to be taking your armhole or your pattern like this. You're going to be connecting from the 1/2 inch all the way to the top here. So you do it this way. All right, you connect all the way here that way. Right, so that is for the front armhole line. I'm going to be using my marker, so that will be very useful. All right, so that's for the front. Then after doing that, you flip your pattern master this way. So you're going to be connecting from this 1/2 inch all the way to this part too. Then if you want to make use of this or any type of, you can still go ahead. After doing this way, okay, then you flip it this direction, then you make use of your armhole. All right, so it's going to come this way. All right, so that will give it this S shape. Okay, I'll be using my pattern master so you can see it, and using my marker so you can see what I have properly. You connect it that way. All right, so you can see how that is. Okay, then afterwards, the next thing we're going to be taking, but this is totally optional, it depends on you, if you want to make a fitted sleeve. Okay, so you're going to be taking your elbow measurements, but if you want to make a normal sleeve, you can go ahead and just connect. But for your elbow sleeve, okay, the standard measurement is 13 inches, but you can take yours. So for mine is 13 inches. All right, so on my 13 inches, I'm going to be marking a straight line. All right, now I'm going to be taking my elbow circumference. Okay, once you're taking your elbow circumference, make sure it's a little bit free and not too tight or too firm. Not too free, not too tight. So I have mine here. Then make sure when you're taking that, it's a little bit free. Okay, so you can see that. So mine is 10 inches. Okay, so I'm going to be dividing that by 2. I have 5 inches here. All right, so I'm going to be connecting this line to this line, but before then, you take your wrist measurements. Once you're taking that, make sure it's not too tight, not too free. Okay, make sure you're taking your wrist measurements. It's not too tight, it's not too thin. So mine is 9 inches. Okay, so I'll divide that by 2, so I have 4.5. Divide it by 2, I have 4.5. So I'm going to be connecting this line here to this line with a straight line. All right, these 2 points you connect with a straight line. right? So we have that, so you can see our sleeve is coming out. Then on this side, I'm going to be curving this part. So I'm going to be using this. So you connect from this part here, right? So you can see our sleeve. So I'm going to be using my marker to finish that. We're going to be adding ease. Okay, we're going to be adding allowance to our sleeve. Okay, it's better you had on your pattern, because you might actually forget to do that on your fabric, especially if it is a stretchy fabric. That might be difficult to add. So you add whatever allowances you want to add. You might add 2 inches. For a plus size, you can add up to 2 inches, 3 inches down. Okay, so I'm going to be connecting that. For a medium size, 1 inch is perfectly alright. So remember to connect with a straight ruler first. Then next thing we're going to be adding now is our allowance. So you can add up to 2 inches, 1 inch. I'm going to be adding 1 inch allowance to mine, and I'm going to be connecting that. So we're going to leave that like that. So you had it, you leave it this way. So now we are going to be cutting. So now to cut this out, so we're going to be cutting the back first. But before we do that, so this allowance here, so you make sure you fold this in before cutting. Take your time to fold that. So we are going to be cutting all the way down here. I'm going to be doing this. All right. Then before cutting it, let me measure. So this is your calf's height, your elbow, your sleeve. After labeling it, I'm going to continue to cut that. Okay, then you come this way. So we are cutting the back first to do that. All right. This is how to cut your back. And you can see the back is a bit different from the front, and it's because in our pattern you can see is a bit different. For the back, for the front we go in by 1/4 inch, but for the back it remains the same. So that is why it's a bit different. So this is how your sleeve is. Okay, now we're going to be cutting the front pattern. Okay, forget to cut the excesses out. Okay, all right, now we are cutting the front. So you spread your pattern this way. Then you cut this way. Just take your time. Okay, how beautiful it is. So this is how to draft your basics. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up, guys. So until I see you in my next one, bye. Make magic happen, guys.